Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Friday. And so today is Friday, September 26, 2025. Today we're going to make a fall card using my Fluffy Squirrel stamp set. So I talked about this earlier about how much I love this little stamp set. And today we're going to make a cute little card. I did not get the punch. I mentioned that. I did not get the punch, although I'm thinking now maybe I should have, but I can always order it. But I'm going to be using, this is a two-step stamp set, so I am going to be using the different squirrels, both squirrels from that set. I'm also going to be doing the technique with masking paper. And so today we'll see how this goes. I think it's a cute idea. We'll see how it works out. So let's get started. Put the camera down, less chatting, more stamping, and let's get started. Okay, I'm going to twist this a little more. Okay, move this back. I'm sorry. I know that's a bummer when I do that. Okay, very good. Okay, so I have a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of thick white cardstock. I did score it at 5.5. I'm gonna go ahead and fold this. This will be my cardstock base. Okay, so now I'm gonna use my masking paper. So this, you get 12 sheets, 5 by 7 sheets. You get plenty. It's I think it's in the annual catalog. If not, it's online. Item code is 155480. And I'm gonna go ahead and tear this, and I'm going to give me a little bit of a healthy piece of this. So I'm going to do some back and forth tearing, right? I don't want it to all be exactly the same, straight. It's pretty thin, but I wanted to just kind of give me a longer piece, and I'll show you why. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just peel off the backing. Okay, it's pretty sticky. So it does want to really stick to your cardstock, and it sometimes rip your cardstock. So I'm going to take it and just try to take a little bit of that adhesive off. You could even use, if it's really sticky, which this is pretty sticky, I'm going to use my embossing buddy. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that and powder it up a little bit. Not a whole lot, because I don't want it to go completely unsticky, but I'm just going to add a little bit of this to it. Make it less sticky. Okay, I think that's good. We'll hope for the best. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay this down onto my cardstock. I'm going to lay it about right there. Okay, and then I'm going to use my blending brushes. I have a lot of blending brushes out, and I'm going to use a lot of different colors on this card. I'm actually going to use Pecan Pie, Crushed Curry, Pumpkin Pie, Cajun Craze, Old Olive, and Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to start with my Pecan Pie. And, I don't have a blending brush for every color, right? So per se, I just have like a brown. And that's the way I roll. I really don't want to have 40 brushes. I don't think you really need that many. So I'm just going to ink this up and bring the brown right onto the cardstock. Okay. And you can reuse this masking paper over and over, because it's, like I said, does stay pretty sticky. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to close this. And my next color I'm going to use is Crushed Curry. Okay, so I have a yellow blending brush. So I'm going to take this loose, and now I'm going to move it over a little bit, maybe about right there. Okay, and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to go right up to the brown. I'm not going to include the brown in the blending, but I'm not going to avoid it either, right? I'm going to go right up to it to bring the color right in there. Okay, looks good. My next color will be Pumpkin Pie. So I have an orange brush for this. So on this, I'll use these orange brushes for like, you know, Calypso Coral, all those colors. Okay, so I'm just scooting it over to get a different tear, if that makes sense. And I'm doing this, I'm not giving it every, you know, too much power. I'm just giving it, I don't know how to explain it, but I want some color, but I don't want it to be too bold. Okay, and then the next one will be, my next one is going to be Cajun Craze. So I have a rust. So I'm not really doing a rainbow, right? I'm kind of just going with some really fall colors. But, oh, a rainbow would be really cool. Could do a rainbow and it'd be really pretty. I love blending brushes. They work so well and they are so soft. You get 3 in a pack. Okay, looks good. Maybe a little more. I don't know, I must have used glitter at one point with this pad because it has, looks like it has glitter in it. I don't know. That had to be a while back because I haven't used glitter for a while. Okay, and then I'm going to do 2 more colors. This one is Old Olive. I just inked this up, so I have to be kind of careful. I'm using a dark green brush for this one. And I'm going to put this one back here like this. I want to be a little careful. It's just soaked in pretty good. This pad was really dry, so I just re-inked it. So on these pads, right, they're not as, the foam is not as thick as it used to be. So you do need to ink them more often, but with less ink. Yeah. Probably could have inked it a little more. It doesn't seem very inky. I thought it might be too inked up. Looks great. And then the last one is Misty Moonlight. I know you're thinking, well, that doesn't really go. It's not really a fall color. I'm using my dark blue. My dark blue blending brush. Ooh, got a little swirl. That's okay. It's okay if it looks a little bit like the sky. Ooh, I love it. Okay, look how cool that looks. It's a cool card. I mean, you could just put a sentiment. You could just stamp a sentiment on there and be done. Okay, but I'm not done. I'm going to stamp my squirrels now, and I'm going to use both squirrels. You could just use the outline of the squirrels, or I don't bring any white cardstock, or you could and blend them with a. You could blend them with a blending, your blends, or you can use the 2-step. I'm going to use the 2-step. Okay, so I'm going to use my pecan pie. Do I want to do pecan pie, or maybe I'll do the darker? I think I'm going to use a darker brown. I'm going to use early espresso for the outline, and then I'll use pecan pie for the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp these 2. I'm so happy I cleaned all of my blocks, and they were just, I don't know, not good. Look how cute that is. So now they're nice and clean. This little guy's my favorite. Oh no, I take that back. I love this one, I think. My favorite. This is the one that the that the punch will cut out. This one did not. It's this one. Okay, so now I'm going to close this, and I'm going to stamp the inside of the squirrel with pecan pie. Yes. And then the inside of the other squirrel with pecan pie. Oh, they are so cute. All right, so now you know I don't have the punches, so it's time to do a little fussy cutting, which I don't hate, but it will take me a second. So let's just chat while I'm doing this. So I am trying to think what I have going on this weekend. Oh, I have a lot going on this weekend. So I have a memorial service tomorrow. And Sunday, what do we have going on Sunday besides church? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I should go around that tail. So we have a lot of squirrels in our backyard. And when my grandkids were growing up, well, some of them are still small, but we always, when they would spend the night, it would be like, the squirrels are here. And so we'd all look out the back way and watch the squirrels. And as I said in the past, that where I grew up was kind of in the country, and we had lots of squirrels. We had a lot of hickory trees too. Now, whenever I see hickory nuts, I'm like, oh, kind of takes me back to my childhood, because those hickory nuts were huge, and they would flip you. Like if you stepped on them in the yard, they would just practically knock you down. Okay, so I have those done. Now, the stamp set that I decided to use for the sentiment is Layered Thoughts. Okay, so this stamp set is this one. Okay, and I'm going to make this card. Okay, so the way I want to make this card, I want to make this look kind of like the ground. So I'm going to have the squirrels here facing each other, right? And then I'm going to, let's see, and I'm not going to pop them up. I'm just going to stamp them straight down. Glue them straight down. So I'm going to add a little adhesive, liquid glue right there. And then this one, so they're facing each other. That. So I have them facing each other, but I have their little paws close together. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp love. And I'm going to stamp this right here. And I'm going to use, I could use black. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use Early Espresso. I'm going to stick with the kind of the fall theme. Stamp it a little bit lower. Love. And then the stamp set also has U, a little U. So I'm going to stamp the U. I want to do it kind of underneath a little bit, like there. How cute. Okay, I have other cards that I've made with the squirrels, so I'll show you at the end. Okay, now I need something to join these together. And I've been looking for a little tiny heart. I did find a little tiny heart in the cutest onesie, but it was kind of a little funny kind of a heart. So I found this, Love This Moment. This is actually a scrapbook set. And it has this little heart right here. So I'm going to stamp that. This little heart. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So I'm going to stamp this in. Of course, I'm going to use real red because I want to make, the one color I didn't bring over is real red, and I want to make the heart in real red. Okay, so I'll stamp that in real red. And then, man, I got a lot to put away when I'm done. Everything's out. I'm going to color it in with my real red blend. Okay, like that. Fussy cut that out. I know this is a little longer card than normal, but I think it's going to be so cute. Where'd it go? Okay. What heck? What the heck? Where'd it go? Oh my gosh, I lost the heart. I know it's little, but it has to be here. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's bizarre. Crazy, Crazyville. Hang on a second. Let me stamp another one. What the heck? I just laid it down and it disappeared. Does that ever happen to you? Wow, it was weird. Try that again. Try another heart. Better hold on to it this time. What in the world? Wonder when I'll find that little heart. It'll probably be stuck to something. It's crazy. Don't drop it, Trevis. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to put a little drop of glue right here and the little heart right there. Isn't that so cute? Okay, now I want to add some ribbon here at the top. And I have this white ribbon. I don't even know if this is current. It's called white, just called white ribbon, 165562. And I need to tint it because I don't really think I want it to be white. Actually, I'm going to tint it with my blend marker. I'm going to make it Old Olive. You ever done this? I'll turn it this way. So take your blend marker and just make your ribbon any color you want. So I always tell people when they first start stamping and they say, well, I like ribbon, but I don't want to buy all the different colors. I just say, buy a white ribbon and tint it yourself. And you can tint it with like an ink, just like a, from your stamp pad or whatever. Okay, so now I'll wrap this around. Hope I have enough. Let me see. I think I'm going to make a bow, so let me ink a little more. I don't think I made enough because I want to make it a little longer and make a bow. If I wanted to make a knot, I had enough, but if I want to make a bow, I didn't have enough. And you can do both sides if you want, but I don't think I need to do both sides. Okay, so we're going to flip this around. Ooh, and it's still wet. Ah! Oh, should let it dry. I should have done that in advance, so it would have dried. Well, I didn't, so I'll just be a little more careful. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me cut this. Probably did have enough to begin with, but who knew? These blends are alcohol blends, so they should dry really fast, but I guess I just didn't give it a chance. Ugh. There we go. Trim this off. Okay, so make that a little smaller. Has a big bow for a little card. Okay. Okay, there's my finished card. Isn't that so cute? I just think those squirrels are darling. And let me show you a couple more cards I made. Okay, so this card, I made this card. Okay, so the difference here is that instead of doing the blue, which I really like the blue, I did the brown at the top, and then I just used the Old Olive twine, linen thread rather. It's called Early Espresso and Old Olive linen thread. I used that. And then I did use the sentiment from the stamp set, from the squirrel stamp set. It says, may you gather happiness. So I just used that. Then I had this card. So this isn't using the squirrels, but it is using the same technique. And so I did use here on this one, oh, I can't think of the name of the stamp set. It's a new stamp set. But anyway, thinking of you brings joy to my heart. And I like how that just happened to stamp right there on the yellow. Brings joy to my heart. Huh, just happened to work out that way. Okay, so those cards, I hope you enjoyed them today. My name's Trevis Bossler, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Bye.